Hi guys and welcome to another video. In today's video I wanted to start like a new series where I discussed my top 5 like makeup products, but I'm gonna split it into categories, otherwise it would just be the longest video ever. So the first video I thought I would just start with the basics and pair up primer and foundation. So I've got a bunch behind me, but I've tried to pick kind of some from the drugstore and some that are more high-end, so it kind of suits everyone. If a product works for me and works for my skin, I can't promise that it's going to work for you because we all have different skin types and stuff. So probably the most important thing is to figure out what kind of skin type you are, whether it's oily, dry, combination, normal, anything like that, and see whether these products will suit you as well. At the moment my skin is kind of combination. I get oily kind of in my T-zone, but I also have kind of dry patches around my face, specifically on the side of my nose, and it's really gross. I don't necessarily have like really large pores, but what I look for in a foundation is kind of a dewy finish, but I have included some matte foundations too. So starting off with primers, I have 2 that are from the drugstore. The first one is Maybelline's Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. So I've actually seen a lot of mixed things about this primer, but what it really is it's kind of just a gel that is used in place to really blur and kind of smooth out the pores on your skin, and if you have any texture and things like that. I think it's great for filling pores. I definitely recommend looking into this if you do have larger pores, because obviously this is a really cheap primer. So the next primer is the NYX Angelville primer. I know that I've spoken about this a lot on my channel before, and this is a very popular drugstore primer. But what this is an ultra velvety oil-free primer, and it does exactly that really. It has no oil in it, so if you naturally have oily skin and you're kind of worried about putting like an oil product on top of it, don't worry, this is great. The next primer that I have is probably one of my favourites, and I've used it religiously since I got it, and it is the Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizer Smoothing Primer. I know that Makeup Forever have kind of like a whole range of different primers for different skin tones, but I would highly recommend this because it's just amazing. A little bit goes a really long way, and there's really just not that much to say about it. Next up is a cult favourite, and I kind of have a love-hate relationship with this product, and it is Benefit's the POREfessional. I think I've owned about 5 of these before, and I do think it's very similar to the Makeup Forever one. And last up I kind of have a more unconventional kind of primer, and it is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. This primer water is silicone-free, alcohol-free and oil-free, and it's just so amazing. In my opinion, when I first bought it, I thought you're essentially paying just for kind of bottled water that makes your face a little bit sticky. But it is really great for hydrating your skin. So what I do, if I'm gonna apply a stick foundation, I will apply this right before, so my skin's a little bit wet and everything blends out nicely. But if I'm going for kind of like a lighter makeup day and I want my skin to feel not as heavy, then I will use this in place of like a pore filling primer, and it just keeps my skin feeling really kind of healthy and glowy and really light. So moving on to foundations, it looks like I have more than 5 here, and it's because I do, and I've kind of tried to pick some from the drugstore and some high-end. So I'm going to start with the drugstore. One of my favourite drugstore foundations of all time is the Rimmel Match Perfection foundation. I just think this is so beautiful if you want a kind of glowy, dewy, radiant kind of look. This foundation is absolutely great for that. The second drugstore foundation that I have is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Foundation. I'm sure you guys have heard so much about this foundation. So this foundation is primarily a matte foundation, so I would only kind of recommend it to you guys that have normal to oily kind of skin. If you have dry skin, don't go for a matte foundation. It doesn't give you as full a coverage as I would like, but it's definitely buildable. But if you apply just a little bit of this, it's just going to give you a really nice natural kind of coverage. So moving on to high-end foundation, I really want to start with my all-time favourite, and that is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation. So I have a couple in the liquid formula, and I also have one in the stick foundation. I love both equally. Obviously the stick foundation does feel a little bit more heavier because it's just that kind of formula. The liquid range has been around for a lot longer. I know that they had the HD foundation before, and then they changed it into the Ultra HD. But with the stick foundation, there's not as much of a broad kind of variety of shades. I really can't fault this foundation at all. I just love it so much, and it's so buildable. Next up, one of my favourite foundations is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I know this gets so much love, but it just has a perfect full coverage, just perfect flawless kind of finish to it. Once again, this foundation is oil free, and it's kind of a medium to fuller coverage, so I definitely would not wear this on a day that I want a light natural kind of finish. And last up is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Ultra Definition Liquid Foundation. I think they still sell this foundation, but I know that they came out with a new range, and I think it's the Urban Decay All Nighter Foundation, which I've been hesitant to get because I know that it's full coverage, but I also know that it oxidizes on a lot of people's skin. As far as this foundation goes, I think it's a really great formula. I don't think it's too full coverage. It's definitely buildable, so you can still get a natural finish with it. Or if you want to go a little bit ham, you can definitely get full coverage with this. So I believe that is everything, you guys. If you have any suggestions of what kind of makeup product you would like to see featured in my next kind of top 5 series, then leave me a comment down below. I hope you guys liked this new kind of installment in my channel. If you did, please give it a thumbs up so I know. And if you didn't, feel free to give it a thumbs down so I also know for future. And I will see you in my next one, guys.